Howdy, Papa here. I wanted to just talk about some things we've learned about camping in national parks. Maybe one of the most important things we've learned is get gasoline every chance you can. A lot of times the park map, a map of a park may show that there are gas stations in the park, but there really won't be. Kings Canyon was a great example. It shows about 3 gas stations in the park, but there aren't any. So we had to make an extra trip to get gas because we relied on the park maps. So don't trust the park maps. Get gas every chance you get before you come into a national park. Next thing we've learned is when you go to the entrance station, where you pay your fee to get into the park, ask a bunch of questions. For example, where is the nearest gas station? And they can tell you for sure what's going on right now. In Kings Canyon, one of the gas stations, it was near where we were going to camp, got burned up in a fire, and so it wasn't there anymore. We passed by its charcoalish remains. Can't get us gas there. So we've learned, always ask where the nearest gas station is, and always ask what the probability of getting a campsite is. Those people at the entrance station should know. If you got to drive a long way to get to the campground, it makes sense to be pretty sure that you're going to be able to get a campsite in there. The next thing is, when you're at these entrance stations, get the little newspaper for sure that the parks pass out, because those newspapers will have all of the current information about gas stations and any road closures and that sort of thing. Whereas if you have a book that you bought, which we did, it's going to get outdated over time. If they have a big fire in the park, or if it's winding down toward the last part of the season where things are closed that aren't normally closed. So get that newspaper and read it before you get too far into the park. Now, about selecting a campsite once you get to the campground, we are finding that if the campground's full, like what always is the case in Yosemite, you will get absolutely choked out by campfire smoke every night if you don't strategically choose your campsite. So what you want to do is find out north, south, east, and west in the campground and select a campsite that's on the northwest side, because the wind, in most of the places in the United States blows from the north or the northwest or the southwest. So get on the western side of that campground, and if you can't find one on the western side that suits you and you have to go on a site somewhere else, try not to get one that's on ground that's too high, because all the smoke will gravitate toward the high ground, and you'll just get totally choked out. Another solution, if you have to get a campsite where it's smoky every night, and that campfire smoke bit, every campground we've ever been to that's had any kind of substantial numbers of people in it produces campfire smoke, and that usually begins about 9 p.m. and goes on until about midnight. So what you can do, find you a nice pullover spot somewhere out of the campground, and just if you're camping in a van like we are and you can be mobile, go there until about midnight if you can, and then come back, and by that time the smoke will be gone. So those are some good ideas that we have learned about while we're camping. Papa signing out.